What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Stardust and so are you. So judging by the title, guys, you already know what this reading is going to be about, and I've never done a reading like this, but I was just recording the last reading of who pissed you off. Like, it was just a general reading, but at the end I kept looking at this one card where I seen like this Egyptian like statue in the corner and how they were looking, and like I just got like a glimpse of these eyes. So I was just wondering, like, who is this person's ancestors? You know, it just, the thought came across and I was like, oh, I should do a reading like that. So I want to know. I don't know if y'all want to know, but I do. But yeah, so who are your ancestors? And I feel like I was picking up on some weird energy for all three piles. Not too much channeled messages, but I did write stuff down. And of course, you guys know I'm going to try to pick up messages of who your ancestors were based off the crystals that I selected. And I just randomly went in my box and picked up crystals. So, and these are like my own personal crystals that I've had for like ever. So yeah, I feel like that's significant. So you could have had your ancestors forever, right? But yeah, this old labradorite, this is like one of my first pieces of labradorite ever. And it's so shiny. Ooh, I kind of knew that was going to happen. It's so funny, like, but, and it's funny because this labradorite has a chip in it. And I was thinking, like, too, like, maybe your ancestors, like, had something broken in their lineage, or there was, like, a broken heart or something that they manifested was broken. But I used to always take this labradorite to work with me when I worked for this crazy consulting firm. So yeah, I carried this joint all the time with me to work. And I actually remember the day that I dropped this in front of the firm that I was working for. But this labradorite, so your ancestors could have been really great manifestors. Your ancestors could have been lucky. Your ancestors could have been really transformative as well. Just something magical about your ancestors. Very shiny, very strong here. I feel like too, I get this energy of like maybe somebody wanted a piece of like what your ancestors had as well, or maybe something was taken away or stolen away from your ancestors as well, broken away from them, or their creation or something that they manifested or made, or something that was just like naturally given to them, because this is a natural piece of labradorite. Yeah, so that's pile number one. Pile number two, who your ancestors were. I feel like they were very protective and protected with the black tourmaline. Pile number two, your ancestors could have been very strong as well. Something about their communication, they were strong communicators as well, clear-headed. I feel like you, pile 2 and 3 might have a lot in common for some reason, because when I was putting the cards out, this clear quartz had like kind of like shifted to that way. So that could be significant, but I feel like your ancestors were strong communicators and very protective or protected, or protective of other people. And what pile number 3 is the clear quartz. Lovely piece of clear quartz that I keep in my box to do crystal grids. So your ancestors could have been really good communicators with the divine. They were protective with their communication. Maybe they kept a lot of secrets as well. I feel like your ancestors were really creative, I just got as well, but creative with their words. Loving with their words as well, very sharp, direct. The ancestors could have hid a lot of things as well. maybe told lies or told the truth. Like when they were telling the truth, they were telling the truth. When they were lying, they were lying. Like, you know, like your ancestors could have been like really clear-headed though, very protective. But yeah, I'm going to try to channel this energy. I feel like I'm going to get a lot once the cards are flipped. So guys, I hope you guys enjoy this reading. I'm super excited, so stay tuned. Okay, pile number 1, I am back. So, who were your ancestors? Labradorite pile, pile number 1. Wow. This is going, I already knew this was going to be dope and cool, because I never did a reading like this. Okay, yes. Come through. Wow. Wow. Okay, let me stick with this for a second. So right away, I feel like your ancestors had like a high tolerance for things. Maybe your ancestors had a high tolerance to thrive. I feel like your ancestors went out on many journeys, started new things. Your ancestors could have been really spiritually connected or connected to like a mother or someone here, the divine, really connected to the divine here. I feel like your ancestors were very nurturing people, very loving. Yo, just watch all 3 piles because the crown chakra energy is here, and that's going to be pile number 3 with the clear quartz. So I feel like your ancestors were really connected with the divine. They could have definitely gained some type of tolerance for maybe worldly things like alcohol. They knew the secrets to maybe manifesting as well, hence this harvest card. Maybe your ancestors were really nurturing and generous. Maybe they gave back somehow. Maybe your ancestors maybe served some type of food, gave away food or something here. Fruit. I'm seeing your ancestors maybe had like some type of land where they were able to give back food or give to other people or some type of finances. Yes. Oh my God. The King of Pentacles is here. So your ancestors could have been like, you know, really generous with their finances. Maybe someone's ancestor could have overindulged in like substances as well, but they were very generous here. And nurturing, and yeah. I feel like your ancestors, like somebody's ancestor could have dressed like really festive as well. Maybe a little, I don't know, costumey, or I feel like someone, and I was getting this high priestess energy, like a witchy type vibe. Definitely watch pile number 3 for sure. It's going to be your pile, because I said in the beginning that I felt like there was like a little secretive energy, and I feel like it was coming from the clear quartz pile. Just watch all 3 piles, because I feel like I can pick this up in black tourmaline as well. But yeah, I feel like someone's ancestors could have had some type of psychic powers. And I said that over here. Someone's ancestor could have some type of psychic power. They were really good at manipulating energies here, especially when it came to like earthly things like money, gaining finances, gaining opportunities. Maybe with their nurturing energy here. Maybe your ancestors have some type of connection to the ocean or to land, to where they could like alter, you know, energies here. Yeah. And with this smoke here, I feel like maybe your ancestors too could have had like, you know, visions of like, you know, or that's so crazy, because I forgot with the labradorite pile, and I wrote down visions of life beyond death. So I feel like maybe your ancestors had like some type of psychic visions, things like that will help them like manifest, or maybe your ancestors would use visualization to help them manifest things. Because the yes, and amethyst talks about psychic gifts and psychic powers, but I was supposed to say labradorite, but maybe labradorite is all about manifestation and abundance and aligning all your chakras. So your ancestors were very generous. Your ancestors were very intuitive as well. Maybe your ancestors practiced some, or knew about like maybe telepathy, or I don't know what this is called. Like it's like pulling words out of the universe or something. I guess this is like channeling. Yes, because the crown chakra card, the high priestess card, like maybe your ancestors was like channelers. They manifested through their channeling, or this is how they knew who to give back to or donate to. Maybe this is how they knew how to like plant things, grow things, harvest things. Here they intuitively were getting these downloads on how to plant, how to garden, how to build their wealth, or whatever this is here, or who to give to. Like this for like, yeah, like your ancestors could have had like psychic powers. They were able to orchestrate or manipulate energies here that'll align in their favor. Every journey starts with a new step, or with a single step. So maybe your ancestors nurtured people that were like starting out new, so people that were dealing with substances and addictions and things like that. Maybe your ancestors provided like a safe haven for people, or gave out food to people that were starting a new journey, people that were naked, people that didn't have clothes or something here. Maybe your ancestors was generous this way, especially with the King of Pentacles. It's all about grounding, stability, you know, giving back, being generous here. Maybe this was your ancestors, like they did these things. They shared their harvest. Like when it was harvest season for your ancestors, whether it was crops or finances, your ancestors gave back. So who were your ancestors? They were givers. They were intuitive. They were financially stable. Maybe possibly one of your ancestors like dressed like this, or had like one of those like chairs, and it had like, you know, like back in the day, those straw chairs that family members used to pose in, or they dressed theatrical. Maybe one of your ancestors loved the color white, gold, or purple. I'm seeing someone's ancestor that loved cheetah print as well. Maybe one of your ancestors loved like fedora hats, like hats like this. I feel like your ancestors too could have liked to dance as well. I feel like one of your ancestors like to get up early in the morning. Like your ancestors were probably early birds. That song Love and Happiness could be significant by what is it, Al Green. So I'm going to get a channeled message, and then I'm going to move on to pile number 2. So who were your ancestors, Labradorite? Ooh, wow. Wow. Yo, I wish you guys could have seen how that jumped out. Wow, splurge a little. You know you can afford. I wish you guys could see my face. What? Who are your ancestors? I'm not even gonna pull. Yo, look what's on the top. And then underneath of that, I definitely feel like someone's ancestors were like maybe into like drugs or alcohol or something like that. But the first card, it says splurge a little. You know you can afford to do so. You deserve it. Lucy Pearl dance tonight. Yo, I just said someone's ancestors could have liked to dance. Have a luxurious evening. Treat yourself. Money in the bank. Fancy free dinner. Party. So with this King of Pentacles, yo, look at this. That's crazy. With this King of Pentacles, someone's ancestors could have definitely been financially stable to where they gave away money. Like, they upgraded people. They could have been really snazzy dresser, I just heard. I don't even know. I don't even use the word snazzy. But your ancestors could have been a snazzy dresser. People like what they had on. They were empress or emperor. People wondered where they got their shoes and their bags and their decorations for their body, especially if they adorned their face. But yeah, your ancestors could have always had new clothes, new shoes, new jewelry. Maybe they were always spoiling people, shopping, introducing people to new things. They had new cars, new home, things like that here. But yeah, shout out to your ancestors. They seem really abundant and happy with this sun card in the back. Maybe your ancestors were really enlightened and really blessed. And I feel like maybe too, yo, right underneath the High Priestess card is the King of Pentacles. Like, your ancestors gained their finances through their intuition. Maybe by obscuring things as well, but and maybe someone could have like taken something here, or your ancestors could have lived by the water as well, around like a nice land with some water close by or something here. I feel like maybe someone's ancestors was into like water, waves, the beach, surfing, traveling as well. Something about the water here. But really nice jewelry. Maybe a lot of parties, celebrations, things like that. Giving back and things like that. Nurturing the community is type energy as I'm getting. Especially newcomers. People that have had like, you know, problems with sobriety, getting sober. People that have, you know, that needed nurturing. I feel like this is what your ancestors provided for them. So pound number 1, that's all I'm getting. Your ancestors were dope and very loving people and nurturing, and they possibly helped out a lot with people with their finances, and they were abundant, and they spent money. So yeah, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that resonated with you. Definitely ask your grandparents and your great-grandparents, if they're still around, you know, what your ancestors were like, and hopefully that resonated. I feel like too, someone's ancestors could have a connection to Africa, because I'm seeing these lions. I'm seeing this, and for some reason I pulled this African deck and I never use it. So yeah, and someone, you could have your ancestors could have a connection to drums. So like I said, ask your aunties, your great aunties, your grandmom, your great grandmom, whoever that's still around you, about your ancestors, and always talk about them. Definitely check out that movie Coco as well. I love that movie. And you know, always try to pay homage to your ancestors anytime you can. You know, I don't just pray to God, I pray to my ancestors as well. So guys, like I said, I hope that resonated. Definitely stick around for pound number 2 and pound number 3. I'm sure that one's going to resonate with you guys. So peace. Okay, pound number 2. What's up with the black tourmaline? Welcome back. So I feel right away, like I feel like it was something about your ancestors that was like really, like when it comes to like maybe being on point with certain things, being very punctual, Maybe your ancestors like to be on time. They liked, you know, to make sure they cross their T's and dot their I's. But yeah, I feel like they jotted things down, like they, you know, they wanted to be correct here. So let's see who your ancestors were. Pile number 2, black tourmaline. Wow. You guys have some really dope, magical ancestors, and I feel like all 3 piles might be just one long reading. I could have just did one reading for this, or one pile. Wow. And I was getting this naked energy in pile number 1, so I'm definitely watching pile number 1, and this card literally says naked. So I don't know if your ancestors like to be naked as well. But yeah, so who are your ancestors? I feel like your ancestors focused on the light. They could have been really intuitive, very infatuated or driven by, you know, sunny things that made them passionate, things that made them question here. And this is possibly what led to their spiritual strength. I feel like your ancestors are spiritually strong. I feel like your ancestors had a lot of love for God. Oh my God, like look at this, it's right next to the love card. You got the spiritual strength next to love. I feel like your ancestors loved God. They loved their spiritual strength, and maybe their love for God is what built their spiritual strength. I feel like their spiritual strength could have also gave them some type of abundance. Maybe your ancestors focused more on the light, focused more on spirituality, and ignored finances as well. And this is how they found finances, is by focusing on light. I feel like your ancestors could have experienced like a civil unrest is what I heard. Maybe they needed some type of rest. I feel like your ancestors had a lot of courage, because it says courage, guardianship, and I don't even know what conservation means. Let me see. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. So conservation, I never even know what that word means. It says prevention of waste use of a resource. So maybe you're, and it says a careful preservation and protection of something. So maybe, and it's with the black tourmaline, and I said protective or protected. A black tourmaline is here for protection. It's a protective crystal. It's carried for protection. But your ancestors and spirit guides could have had the courage to protect something here, especially if it was finances or home or something here that was long term, a family. They had the spiritual strength and the love and the courage and the guardianship over something as well, and they protected it here, especially against like dark forces. Think people that was trying to leave them mentally stuck. Maybe they did the paperwork, they did the, you know, look at this lady in the back doing paperwork, like on a typewriter. Like maybe your ancestors did the paperwork to defeat some type of lies. Maybe they had to fight off someone trying to take something from them, their home, their property here. Maybe they defeated this energy with love and truth and communication. I feel like your ancestors, like again, I was saying, like, they could have been really protective over their bodies, over their home. I feel like maybe your ancestors were like connected to like mermaids as well, beauty, very beautiful. And maybe your ancestors loved being naked. Maybe they focused on the light. They weren't really focused on, you know, how they looked here. Maybe your ancestors definitely had some type of magical alignment here. Your ancestors were successful and victorious at protecting something, guarding something here. Your ancestors could have like jumped around a lot as well. They could have traveled around a lot. They could have had like this excitable energy I was getting earlier too when I was shuffling for this pile. Like a childlike energy, moving around a lot. And I wrote the word glamorous under black tourmaline. And look at this lady. She's so pretty. But yeah, I feel like your ancestors could have had been really great at creating things here. They were very magical. Very successful at magic here, guarding something, protecting something here. Your ancestors could have had some type of universal light too. And to me, and it says focus on the light. And what I wrote down in my channeled messages is universal light. And it says focus on the light. So maybe your ancestors, I don't even know what the light is. You feel me? Like, what is the fucking light? Like, but whatever it is, your ancestors focused on that shit. And I feel like the light is your intuition, your internal beauty, your internal love, your internal love for God, your spirituality. I mean, that's the light. The light is peace, clarity. You know, the light to me is like a child that has survived, you know, like their inner child. Like your inner child isn't all fucked up and beat up, and they're still curious and wondering and sees the world as a beautiful place. I feel like this is how, no matter how fucked up shit got, I feel like your ancestors still focused on the light. And this is what built their spiritual strength and made them radiate love, and was made able to, and I'm sure they went up against some demons here. Let me tell you, I see a monster here. This is, let me show you the backs. This is 2 different decks. And look at the demons. So I feel like your ancestors fought for something here and guarded something and protected something with love, out of love as well. And God, they had the spiritual strength to do this here. So I'm going to get some channeled messages, guys. I'm going to pull some and see who your ancestors were. Who was black tourmaline? You guys, your ancestors were very protective, especially over small things, maybe big things. Like your ancestors could have not been afraid to go up against like things that were bigger than them as well, is what I want to say. Maybe your ancestors had some type of power within their hands. That card just jumped out. Oh, yeah, look at that! Look at that! The with the shits card. Your ancestors was with the shits. Your ancestors was with the shits. They would stand up for themselves, fight back, fighter who wants to smoke, carry guns, go from a 0 to 100 real quick. Don't make me snap. Silent but deadly, verbally or physically. Your ancestors could have carried weapons. They didn't play about theirs. Maybe people took them as small, weak, and your ancestors was like, oh no, we fight monsters too. We fight demons. Like, is that a rock in his hand? Like, it literally looks like it's a rock in his hand. Like, cross the line, speak about mine, I'ma wave this tack, I'm a geek about mine. Like, yeah, not as weak as you think. Your ancestors have big D energy. They really did. They weren't over cocky. They weren't overconfident. They just knew. They just knew that they were with the shit and they didn't take any shit. Who were your ancestors? Yeah, not as weak as you think. Dangerous mind. Maybe they looked like a kitten, but they were really lions. They were smart, clever, strong-minded. They had a backbone. They played chess while others played checkers. They were always 10 steps ahead, especially of any type of enemy that was trying to like come for them or take something from them. Maybe your ancestors didn't have money, no job, no savings here, but they were independent as fuck. Like maybe whatever they gained or obtained was on their own. Maybe they didn't have much, but whatever they did have, they protected the fuck out of it. Maybe there was like a major like government like cover up or some type of cover up when it comes to like something that your ancestors had, lost and found. Maybe they lost something and found it again, or maybe something was taken from them. Let's see, who is Black Tourmaline's ancestors? Yeah. Maybe your ancestors traveled or they needed a vacation. They needed to get away. I feel like maybe your ancestors were really good at dressing as well. Maybe your ancestors like to eat, eat their feelings here, enjoyed food. Who are their ancestors? Maybe your ancestors too. Maybe your ancestors had people that like would come back looking for them here. People that will come back to themselves. I don't know what that meant. Like maybe they have people that will come looking for them. Like maybe old friends, old lovers, and your ancestors were like focused on their goals, minding their business here. When maybe somebody would come looking for them. But overall, what I was getting is that your ancestors, they didn't take any crap, especially when it comes to like protecting themselves. Especially if your ancestors, I don't know if your ancestors seemed like unassuming, nonchalant, like that kitten energy, like a child minding their business, you know, focused on the light, but not knowing that this person, they had some type of spiritual strength, or they were wise. Really a lot of wisdom here. And naked energy makes me think of purity, right? Because we're all born naked. So maybe your ancestors looked naked, or looked poor, or looked like they didn't have much, but they secretly had something here. And maybe they were just more focused on the light and their spirituality, but people didn't know that maybe they had money or land or something here, and someone tried to come for them, come for their shit, and they protected their stuff. They showed people that they were with the shits. With love. With love too. Like, that's crazy. So maybe your ancestors is like the true definition of killing them with kindness, or literally love wins. Like, you know that phrase, like love wins, love defeats. Like maybe your ancestors like did that here. I feel like your ancestors definitely have some type of magical energy here. Maybe in a connection with the ocean, connection with water here, where they gain their magic from, or their yeah. I feel like people who were your ancestors, I had to pull one more channel card, but your ancestors, they, maybe your ancestors, like, they guard shit. They bring spiritual beat downs here. On God. They're with the shit. Your ancestors were like definitely some type of protected people. They protected something, protected people, protected people from lies or words and stuff like that, or horrible, like, say if like someone was saying horrible things, like your ancestors like protected that shit with love, words of truth. If someone was lying, your ancestors used love and truth to bring, you know, protection to the situation, or to protect the situation. So yeah, that's all I'm getting, guys. Your ancestors seemed dope, you know. They seemed very eager and glamorous and beautiful as well. You can have a lot of spirit animals as your ancestors as well. So I'm getting like this bear, this square, I said square, squirrel. Getting this mermaid, fish. But yeah, hopefully no one of your ancestors was a square. But now, guys, that's all I'm getting. Definitely hit the like, comment, and subscribe energy for me. Definitely like the video. Comment. Let me know what you liked. And definitely watch pile number 3, because I definitely feel like it's going to hit. It's like just one long reading. Share with people if you feel like this may resonate with you. And I'm going to tell you, like I told pile 1, talk to your grannies, talk to your aunties, your great uncles, your great grandfather, all these people. If they're still around, ask them questions. Ask them about your ancestors. Get to know your folks. Okay? So, peace out, guys. Okay. Pile number 3. Welcome back with the clear quartz. I'm just going to timestamp that. I had to write it down. I lost my pen. But yeah, guys, welcome back. Pile number 3. So like I was saying, I feel like your ancestors are definitely clear communicators. Maybe they were sharp with their words, very direct. Maybe they received a lot of downloads and clarity from the universe. Maybe they were very intuitive as well. So definitely watch pile number 1, because I feel like there's messages for you in there. And pile number 2. Just watch all 3 piles. The 2. I wanted to say to pile number 2, this black tourmaline has like a little piece of clear quartz growing out of it. I don't know if it's clear quartz or calcite, white calcite, but either way, it deals with communication here. So pile number 3, who are your ancestors? What? Look at this card. I don't use this deck often, so I'm still amazed by the artwork. Oh my god. Who are your ancestors, guys? I haven't seen any of the cards. You already know. I'm about to freak out. Look at this. Oh my god. I am present. Look how this ancestor is looking down. I use this deck all the time, but this deck, no. Like, oh my goodness. Some of these ancestors too could be crying or has like tears in their eyes or something here. But I'm gonna say, what? Watch all 3 piles. Period. Who were your ancestors? The shit. First of all, clear quartz. I'm so hyped for this pile. This is my pile. This is my pile on God, because I wear color quartz like every day of my life. Like it's my stone, bro. But when I say, who are your ancestors? What in the hell? Your ancestors was lit. Your ancestors were the shit. They are the shit. They still the shit in the universe. Look at that. Look at them in the spirit world, wherever they are, bro. Your ancestors were the shit. They probably had dope ass parties. They probably were fun. They loved to dance. Like what? 7 sisters. Creativity. Your ancestors probably threw really creative parties. Let me slow down and calm my ass down. So your ancestors probably really hyped. They probably told stuff really hype as well. Told stories like really hype. So defend to the end what's worthwhile. Like I said, watch pile 2, because it's this energy was pile number 2. Maybe your ancestors definitely defended something to the end. Maybe they were very wise. Like the owl on this person's head represents wisdom, representing seeing. The owl can turn their head in 360 degrees. Like they can literally look behind them. They can see in the dark. Owls are dope as fuck, and they're very wise. So, or I don't know, it's a phrase like a wise old owl or something, but they're associated with wisdom. So your ancestors could have really striking eyes, really nice eyes. Could have had a connection to birds. I feel like your ancestors were very beautiful. very loving, very beautiful. Definitely watch pile number 2. Maybe they have really dope connections, dope relationships here. Yeah, loyal relationships as well. Maybe your ancestors was loyal to their beauty, their love, their relationships, their dog, their family as well. And they're present here. Your ancestors, like, they turn up. They turn up in readings. They turn up at parties. They're here. They're all around you. They're everywhere. So positive movement forward here. Your ancestors was loyal to moving forward. Your ancestors was loyal to positive changes here. Your ancestors was probably loyal to their creativity, to their sisters here. If they had a bunch of sisters, or just a bunch of family members, period, your ancestors was lit. Yo, with the King of Swords, with the clear quartz, like, come on, come through with the ancestors, bro. Like, do you see that resemblance, that sword with this sword? Like, your ancestors, they were very smart. They were very truthful. Your ancestors was very wise again, hence this gray beard. Gray represents wisdom here. It doesn't matter how old you are when you get your gray hair. It represents wisdom. So your ancestors were very smart, very truthful, very honest, very sharp-worded, willed, sharp-minded here, very truthful. Maybe there was some type of authoritative energy in your ancestors' life. Maybe your ancestors, like I just heard, I done been through a whole lot. Trial tribulations, but I know God. Satan wanna put me in a bow tie. Play that the holy water don't go dry. Hit it, hit it. That's from that's oh my god, my favorite rapper, Kendrick Lamar. I love myself. So listen to that song. That could be your ancestors and energy. Walk my energy, walk my energy down, yeah. Your ancestors could have been very musical as well. Like, and your ancestors could have had a connection to sunflowers. Because I've seen this sunflower in pile number 2. And now I'm seeing it here. And I guess I got to look up what sunflowers represent. Because to me, in my brain, I think about sun. I think about intelligence. I think about illumination. I think about being able to produce. Because sunflower seeds, like, them Jones be coming out in abundance. Have you ever seen a sunflower drop their seeds, bro? It's so many of them. So your ancestors could have, like, had a lot of kids, a lot of family members. Y'all can have a lot of babies in your family, because look at all these people. Look at 7 sisters and then all these people. And then I just thought about sunflowers, and look at all these sunflowers. Look at how many there are. Like, and all of those things are going to produce seeds. So you could have had a lot of ancestors as well. Like, a lot of, they planted a lot of seeds or made a lot of babies. So let's see. So happiness, strength and resilience, loyalty and devotion, good fortune, harvest and abundance. So maybe your ancestors had these things and they defended these things as well. They defended their loyalty and their devotion, their relationships. They defended their happiness. They defended their sisters. They defended their family members with words, with truth, maybe by with positive movement forward. Maybe your ancestors have suffered a lot, but they're very wise here. Or they traveled a lot here. I feel like maybe your ancestors could have a connection to boats or traveled a lot. Your ancestors could have been really beautiful as well. Had a connection to candles. Your ancestors were lit, bro. Hence the candles. Maybe your ancestors loved candles as well. Maybe your ancestors made, like, creative candles as well. Creative dresses here. Had creative parties or gatherings. Maybe these all people were creative here. Maybe someone's father could have had, ooh, I just got really dizzy out of nowhere. Like, my head just went like whoosh. Maybe someone's father could have had 7 daughters or 7 sisters. Maybe someone's grandfather could have had 7 sisters. Maybe someone's mother could have had 7 sisters or 7 brothers. This could flip this around. There could be 7 brothers or 7 sisters or 7 siblings, 7 something. There could even be 10. I see 10 sisters, 10 brothers, 10 cousins, something. Eight. Someone had a large family here. But yeah, clear quartz. I feel like there was a little weirdness in your family as well. I don't like to, your family could have been scary as well. Something spooky or weird about your family. These are my channeled messages that I was getting. Maybe your ancestors could have like talked about weird things or communicated about spooky things. Maybe someone of your ancestors too could have saw, like, they have visions, like seen things. And I was getting that, I think, in pile 1. I'm not sure, but definitely go back and watch all 3 piles. I was getting that. That's so crazy, and I wrote it down for pile number 3. But yeah, yeah, because yeah, the Labradorite pile had visions of life beyond death, and I wrote down here that seeing weird things. So that I seen something weird like while I was shuffling for this pile. So I was like, maybe they had like visions and stuff. Like, and it was just like a spooky energy here. So yeah, yo, I just seen this. Look at how this rainbow is like not really there, but it's there. Like this person in the sky, and it's a snake at the end of the rainbow. Like the face is a snake. But like maybe your ancestors and spirit guides like got visions as well of like, yeah, because I am present. Like maybe your spirit guides and ancestors could, I mean your ancestors could have like seen like their spirit guides or have visions of people. They used to see things in the dark here, possibly because the owl sees in the dark. So I feel like someone in your ancestors could have been a little weird, a little spooky. Maybe they used to be seeing shit and they used to be on truth. They used to be on point with it. Like they knew it was up. Like they felt it. They seen it here. Maybe your spirit, your ancestors could have been like loyal to like their spirit guides as well. But yeah, I feel like your ancestors were protective and protected, and they still are. They still are protective and protected of you and people here, your family. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna get some channeled messages. So who were your ancestors? I just seen this card, but your ancestors and your spirit guides could have been like, they made people feel safe. They made people feel comfortable. They made people feel like they could open up. They made people feel like they could be emotionally expressive. Yes, laughing all the time. Because I was getting that here, like maybe they were like turned, yo. Your ancestors probably had a lot of good times, parties, celebrations, abundance here. Maybe they were free to be themselves here. Who are your spirit guides and ancestors? Clear guide. Well, I'm sorry. Who are your ancestors? Clear quartz. Who's clear quartz ancestors? So maybe your ancestors, some of your ancestors could be legit your spirit guides, because I keep saying spirit. So, who your ancestors were powerful, especially if there's a lot of them. Who are your ancestors, clear quartz? Who are clear quartz ancestors? Wow. So maybe your spirit guide, your ancestors. Oh my God. So maybe your ancestors had like jail time. They were arrested before. They had the cops called on them, especially if there were like parties and celebrations and large family gatherings. Maybe the authorities were called on them. Maybe someone had a restraining order against some of your ancestors, maybe for their event or something, like they were banned from certain places, or they had to move away from a certain place because of police activity or authoritative figures, you know. There was like maybe a restraining order. But who are your ancestors? I feel like they were definitely clairaudient, definitely psychic, divine beings, spirit guides, and that's why I kept saying spirit guides. Passed on loved ones. See how it literally says passed on loved ones. Sending you channeled songs and messages, even in death. There's no connection that can be broken, especially if there's a sister or family member here, or a father that had like a bunch of kids. Like this connection can't be broken. And yo, one of your spirit guides is literally said, don't be ignoring me. They're listening to you, especially if you've been crying here, or you've prayed recently here. Your spirit guides and your ancestors, they hear you, bro. They're present with you, especially if you've been crying. Especially if this is a father figure in particular. So, who is clear quartz ancestors? Who's clear quartz ancestors? Yeah. So someone's ancestors though could have been like a little, and I said that. I was like, how ancestors could have been a little weird, a little cray-cray. So one of your ancestors could have like had like a bunch of kids, you know, especially if this is a father figure jumping from women to women, having a bunch of children, or this could even be a woman. Oh my God, that was like a housewife. Oh, no disrespect to your ancestors, but maybe she had like a bunch of children, like 7 children, 10 children, 8 children. I feel like one of your ancestors could have been like, you know, a gold digger, all about their finances. You know, maybe they had a superficial connection with someone. And maybe there was some type of police activity involved in their connection. And maybe they had trouble knowing who their baby dad was. You're not the father. Maybe someone, kid isn't theirs and they think that it's theirs. Maybe this could be a family secret as well. Or maybe it's not a secret. Maybe people know in the family and people just carry on and have great parties like it ain't nothing, and you guys still act like sisters, act like brothers, or whatever it is. And especially if it's 7 or 10 of y'all, or 8 of y'all. It could even be 3 of y'all. But I'm seeing 3, 2, I'm seeing 8, 7, and 10. Someone could be 23, someone could be 30. Someone could be 12. It could even be 12 children instead of 7 sisters or 12 siblings. Someone had a lot of kids. But I feel like that's who your ancestors is. They definitely had a lot of children. Maybe someone like was all over the place with their hormones. Someone was definitely creative and a creator. Definitely some type of performer, or they designed clothes or costumes or headdresses. Something with hair, hats. They could have done like hair decorations or something. Someone's spirit guide or ancestors could have definitely been a vegetarian or a vegan, or they ate less meat. Yeah. So that's all I'm getting, guys. I hope it resonated. Your ancestors' spirit guides could definitely be seeing, like, they could have been seeing shit. And I hope that resonated with you guys. Definitely hit the like button, comment, let me know if this resonated with you, and definitely subscribe, guys, so you can check out my future readings. Definitely check out all my past readings because they are timeless. Okay, guys, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.